Okay, so on the Camino de Santiago, I think a lot of us would have learned to love Santiago cake or Tarta de Santiago. That's the one that gets served at lots of the bar cafes with the powdered white sugar on top. And I grew to love it. I used to love having it every morning with orange juice and coffee. And when I came back home, I decided I want to look up the recipe. And I don't even cook at all. I never bake, I never cook. I pretty much barbecue, and that's about all. I boil an egg, I make porridge in the morning, and that's about it. So I'm not a baker, I'm not a cook, I don't make food. I just loved it. So I got back and I found out how easy it is to make. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. You can bring Santiago pudding home to wherever you are and enjoy it and give it to your friends and tell them that's what you were eating on the Camino de Santiago. So first off, we're going to need a nice big mixing bowl. Then we're going to need a pan. I use a 23 centimeter pan lined out with baking paper so it doesn't stick. Then you need ground almonds. Now this is not almond flour, it's ground almonds. Almond flour is made differently. It's much whiter and finer as well. This is the ground almond powder, which is also fine, but it also includes the outside lining, the little brown covering that the almond has got. So that's almond powder, which you're going to need. And then normal refined white sugar, not the brown sugar, the refined white one. Bit of icing sugar, that is for the topping, the white powder that goes on top of the cake at the end of the day. Cinnamon, a lemon, and then 5 eggs, large eggs. That's it. So it's basically ground almonds, 5 eggs, fine sugar, white sugar, icing sugar, cinnamon, and lemon. All right, let me show you what to do with it. Really simple, really easy. Okie dokie, first off, preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius. This bottle and stool are just to keep the door closed because the spring on my oven door is not working properly, so ignore that. 170 degrees Celsius, preheated. Then you start off with your mixing bowl. So let's start with that. Okay, so let me start by giving the exact measurements of the ingredients. I start off first with my almond powder, my ground almonds, and it's 250 grams or 2 cups, 2 cups full. Right, 250 grams of ground almonds or 2 cups full. Throw it into the bowl, and the next thing is sugar. Also 250 grams of sugar, but when you convert that to cups, it's 1 1/4 cup. So 250 grams of fine white sugar, or alternatively 1 1/4 cup. Okay, that's 1 1/4 cup or 250 grams of sugar. Throw that in. Then it's a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon added in. And then the lemon zest. The lemon zest, 1 lemon. You take the fine setting on your grater and you grate the lemon. into the dry ingredients. That's 1 lemon, just the zest. There we go, that's about 1 lemon zest rasped into it. That's it. So all that's in here now is the ground almonds, the white sugar, the cinnamon powder, and the lemon zest. And now you just mix this up nicely. Mix this up well. So that you can see everything is properly mixed in with one another. There we go, that's all nicely mixed in. And the next to do is to take your 5 eggs and beat them. You can beat them with a electric machine, or you can just beat them with a fork like I do. So beat the eggs, the 5 eggs well. Okay, the eggs have been nicely beaten, so we just add them into the dry mix and then mix it slowly but properly, nicely mixed. Don't beat it or carry on too harshly with it, because then there's going to be a lot of air in it, and you will see it just needs to be nice and consistently mixed in. So basically all the ingredients are in now. The ground almonds, the sugar, the eggs, the cinnamon, and the lemon zest. Just slowly and thoroughly mix everything without over mixing it or beating it or doing too much. Okay, so this is nicely stirred up, nicely mixed and consistent right through. That's it. This is your batter. That is really all you need. So you just take this and you start pouring it into the baking pan. In the center, you just let it spread itself out. It's quite runny, although thick, like porridge. Okay, so pretty much everything is in the baking pan. You will see it's quite a thin consistency. It runs, levels out. It's not very deep. It does raise a bit, but not much. But it's not a thick cake. So this is it. Now all that you do is you pop it in the oven. At 170 degrees Celsius. Pop it in the oven and you set your timer for 45 to 50 minutes. I set the timer for 45 minutes, then I check it, see if it's there, and yes, then we just wait. Very simple. So after about 45 minutes, I just make sure that it's nice and brown. Unfortunately, the light in the oven's not working, but you can just pull it out carefully and stick a little swizzle stick or a wooden toothpick in, and if it doesn't come out sticky, it should be done. Just remove it from the oven and set it down to cool off completely before trying to get it out of the pan, because otherwise it'll probably break, and let it cool down on its own. Once the cake is properly cooled down, it's time to decorate it with the icing sugar. Now, this really doesn't look very spectacular, does it? But they're really delicious, I'll tell you that. And the nice thing is they're gluten-free. They have no flour in them. So they're not too bad for one as well. And they really are delicious. They're very moist, very fairly dense and heavy, and really super nice. You'll see once I've decorated it a bit, also looks quite nice because the traditional Santiago cross goes on there. So what I've just done is I've just made a little cardboard template. You can make whatever you want to with the Santiago cross. I just use some toothpicks and some prattly putty so that I can easily pick it up, because if you just use a piece of paper and you start sprinkling sugar on it, you'll have to dig it out of the sugar. It will be quite difficult to get out. We will sprinkle some icing sugar, and that's pretty easy. That's just through a sieve. Basically throw some of it through a sieve and shake it up a little bit. And this coats it nice and evenly with the fine sugar. I suppose you can decorate it in different ways, but this is the traditional way that the Santiago cake or Tarta de Santiago gets done in Spain. So there we go. Already it's looking way more attractive. And I just simply pick up the little template and there we go. It's got the traditional Santiago cross on it. And just to look really professional, I'll go ahead and cover it. And this one is going to a Thanksgiving party at some friends tomorrow. How's that? Super. And it's really yummy.